recording data in professional motorsports is something that is the beginning of a technology that finds its way into the normal passenger car, which is what we've seen. So as an executive in motorsports, I've had the opportunity to see some of the advances that inthinc and tiwi have done in our professional race cars. We were challenged with looking for some type of a device that would aid our daughter and also provide something for the future of our grandkids that would actually help them in today's competitive world of driving. I mean, you have to have every resource you can to be as safe as you possibly can. And upon first use of the tiwi unit, which occurred in my vehicle, surprisingly enough, I was not a seatbelt guy, even though I'm around race cars.
You know how he never used to wear a seatbelt?
Yeah.
And I used to get on him all the time about not wearing a seatbelt. They passed seatbelt laws, they did all that kind of stuff, and each time something would happen, I would think that he would wear a seatbelt. And he still never did. And we got that tiwi when we were in Daytona a couple years ago, and I noticed he was wearing a seatbelt. And I'm going like, wow, why are you wearing your seatbelt? He said, because the tiwi tells me when I get in the car.
I don't move my car without my seatbelt on, even in a parking lot. And I can tell you it's a direct result of the tiwi device reminding me I hadn't put my seatbelt on. So our grandson is basically growing up with this unit. It's exciting for him because he knows it's a unit that's used in race cars. So for a fun thing for a grandson or a granddaughter, we have a granddaughter that's also seeing this in action. It's kind of fun for them because they know it's connected directly to a race car, and they think that's cool and special. And I think for kids, you have to have some unique attraction to a device to make it something that they're going to accept.
How did the tiwi change your driving?
It slowed me down.
Yeah?
It impacted my budget because no more speeding tickets.
That's a very good point because that's costly. Very costly. Points on your driver's license.
And insurance goes up.
Insurance goes up.
And it's very possible if you get too many that they take away your driver's license.
And that impacts your job?
Yeah.
Getting to work?
Getting groceries.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
For some reason, the verbal feedback helps me know better that I'm speeding as opposed to looking at the odometer. Well, you should be paying good attention, but in case you're not. And it helps because you're not always in an area that you know the speed limit. You might be looking for a sign, but until you come upon that sign, you don't know what the speed limit is, but the tiwi will tell you, 35, 45. It doesn't say the exact speed limit, but it tells you if you're going over, and at that point, you know exactly what it is when it tells you. Well, my goal is to do the speed limit and not get any speeding tickets, so I do set goals for my driving, and I try not to get any aggressive driving, and I have to set an example for my son, so I do try to be a safe driver.
The most important thing is, to me, is this safety aspect of it. The things that it can do to impact people's lives to make them drive safe.
What I asked of the tiwi unit was to remind our daughter that she might be exceeding in speed and she wasn't driving her car smooth enough. The device actually allows for that. It also allows you to know exactly where it is that you're exceeding the speed, and it remembers that. And what we were hoping to accomplish with our grandson was to have him actually see something that would be able to identify that he is a good driver and that he is driving the speed limits. And because the device records this on a computer that you can actually go and look at, I was able to, one, show our daughter where it was that she was exceeding speed and remind her how to adjust her speed. And at the same time, our grandson was able to see, here's a device that will be able to demonstrate what a great driver he is, because he's coming up on his driving here in the next 6 or 7 months. And he's looking for something, and I'm looking for something to instill confidence in him that he's doing a good job, and he can show his grandfather that he is a good driver and he's certainly trustworthy. And I think the device does all of those things, and that's what we were looking for, and I think it's accomplishing all of our asks. Peace of mind, that's something that I think that's priceless, but I got to tell you, the tiwi unit accomplishes all of that for both my wife, Carol, and myself, because we do worry about the kids and the grandkids. And so I think modern technology has brought us tiwi, and we don't have the same worries that we had when our son and daughter were 16, 17 years old. We didn't know where they were. We didn't know how fast they were going. We had no way to know whether what they were telling us about being a great driver or not being a great driver. We had no knowns. Now we know all of that.